the steps up to the front porch, which was about here.
Jenny Bull was in her home the morning Hurricane Helene tore its way across western North Carolina, making for the most destructive storm to ever hit the area.
That morning, I was sitting there eating my oatmeal, looking out the front window, and water was flooding down the hill and starting to cover my porch, and my car was down there, so I moved it up next to the house to get it out of the water. I heard this rumbling and this shaking, and the whole house was knocked off its foundation by a huge log slide from the top of the mountain that came all the way down, all the way past the house down to the river, and it hit my house. But because my car was parked there, the car stopped the house from going on down, which saved my life.
Even 6 months after this natural disaster, residents are still trying to pick up the pieces. Ben Wilson and Natasha Tafelsky are working every day to move down trees, displace rocks, and clear glass and trash in order to make their property whole again.
We took and made this little trail through here so that we could gain access to parts of the property where there was loads of debris, so that we could start hauling out stuff, not tree debris, but glass and metal.
Just like their fellow survivors, local businesses struggle to keep the doors open because of a major decrease in tourists coming to visit.
Tourist traffic, as it is, still hasn't totally recovered, particularly for food and beverage businesses and for retail businesses that depend on selling things. A lot of that business hasn't totally recovered. Message that I still have for the state and for the federal government, as it were, is that what's really necessary to help keep businesses alive and stop us from losing the local businesses that are the lifeblood of a culture and a community. The desperate need for grants and direct funding, things that stop businesses from needing to take out more debt on top of what they already have.
Businesses aren't the only ones left in the dark. The community as a whole is still waiting on aid to help fix their houses and homes.
I was told that it's going to be nearly impossible to get any other income at all. What they paid wouldn't even cover my insurance costs for 2 years. So we're not even kind of made whole. We're not even made half. We're not made 10% of what we lost.
Boone Mayor Tim Dalton George says the local government is doing what it can to get people back on their feet.
And so our budget is pretty much staying flat, right? We're in the middle of these really tough budget talks. And then we also have to encounter the fact that we've spent a lot. And so you have to be creative in a budget. And a lot of times that reflects with, impact to services at whatever level. I think here at Boone, we're going to be able to help with services and make sure that folks don't see a loss in service.
On-the-ground efforts continue as Preston Blakely and Gina Baxter show us the power of community.
So as we move through the spring and summer months, we've got a ton of events to help boost our local economy. They are the lifeblood of Henderson County. They support agriculture and local businesses. We've got Garden Jubilee in late May, and then all throughout the summer, we've got our live music series downtown. All of those events help support local folks and people who work hard on Main Street, people who contribute to the economy in all kinds of ways. And you can help and have a good time showing up to support local communities.
North Carolina is set to receive $9 billion in relief aid, including $1 billion being allocated to local communities to help rebuild private roads and bridges, as well as debris pickup. Hopefully with this aid, locals can get back to living rather than just surviving.